Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for today's networking session. I know it's super nice outside and we don't want to be on our computers, but I really appreciate you guys joining, and I think we have a great session ahead of us. Today, we're going to be talking with two coordinators from the STEP program, so the Skilled Trades Exploration Program in New Brunswick. We have Katie McDonald and Tara McNeil. So I am going to hand it over to them. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to just unmute yourself and interrupt, or you can write it in the chat. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat and I can ask any questions. So without further ado, Katie and Tara, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Sally. And thank you everyone for joining us today. And Tara and I are very excited to have a chance to talk with you all this afternoon, give you information about our program, and then if you have any questions for either of us. A little background about each of us. I'll start. My background is in education, but I am from a family full of tradespeople. So from my grandfather to my father, my uncles. So definitely grown and realized the benefits of what a skilled trade career can do for you. And then my path took just a little bit of a turn, and I left teaching and went and worked for the refinery in St. John, New Brunswick. It's the biggest refinery in Canada. So I worked there for 8 years. So, you know, had the privilege of working with a great bunch of tradespeople day in and day out on major projects there. And then my passion for teaching and my experience in trades led me to this opportunity with the Skills Trade Exploration Program, and getting the message out there about skilled trades and the excellent career path that it offers, and also using my education in the programming that we offer.
So hi everyone, can you hear me okay? Everybody good? Excellent. My name is Tara McNeil, and I am also a STEP coordinator. I am a Red Seal automotive service technician by trade, and then I went and got my education degree and became a high school shop teacher. And I've always been a promoter of trades for the underrepresented, whether it be women, LGBT community, visible minorities and such. And so after quite a few years of teaching, this job came along with Matt, and it seemed like the perfect fit for what I wanted to do. So another example of how my 4-year Red Seal has taken me into anywhere I want to go. Basically, it is a ticket to ride. So yeah, we're happy to be here.
Great. So we thought we would share a small presentation we have to explain what STEP is and the classes that we have coming up in 2022 and the winter of 2023. So we'll just start at the beginning. So STEP is Skilled Trade Exploration Program. And what it's all about, and our goal is to give an opportunity to anyone in New Brunswick a chance to come into a welcoming and practical training program, and then offering the opportunity to do a direct route to your apprenticeship opportunities here in New Brunswick. So it's a direct route apprenticeship program. So you're getting that opportunity to get any skills and knowledge that you might not have, but always have been wondering about a trade, and feeling more prepared when you get to the job site. So I'm not sure how familiar everyone is about apprenticeship. So we're very fortunate that our partners on this project is the apprenticeship branch here in New Brunswick. So we thought we would explain the 3 routes and how STEP fits into the direct route. So apprenticeship, there's pre-apprenticeship. So it's available to high school students. Students may get their hours towards apprenticeship before they even graduate. This credit is now given for the time that obtained in high school shop classes, co-op placements, summer work terms. So those hours, like I said, if you're doing them in school, would count as soon as you start a job opportunity. where Tara and I fit in, the direct entry apprenticeship. So by finding an employer to sponsor you. So the employer that you do choose needs to have a Red Seal in the specific trade that you're going into. And like Tara mentioned, the Red Seal is a certification that you get once you've gone through apprenticeship. And while you're going through your apprenticeship, you need that individual to sign off on those hours, as they are your mentor throughout that entire apprenticeship. What's great about STEP is you don't have to find the employer. We find the employer for you for that direct route. So when you're successful in our 16 weeks, we'll already have employers on board for our programs, and you'll be matched with one of those employers. You might have heard about pre-employment courses, and that would be at MBCC. So that's another option for apprenticeship. That's a route that many high school graduates or choose to get a better understanding of a trade that they're very interested in before searching for employment. If your skills are limited in the field, but you're interested in this pathway, it's a sure way to prepare you for the workforce. So the pre-employment program is 40 weeks. So with our STEP program, we condense that 40 weeks into 16 weeks. So it's an intense 4 months, but you're getting the same opportunities that you would in a pre-employment with us at STEP. So what can you expect in the 16 weeks in our STEP program? You will obviously get to explore the trade hands-on in theory. So for example, if it's a carpentry class, all of your exploration will be on carpentry and the theory that's related to that. We also have a math component, so any little bit of math upgrading you might need, and the math that's related to the trade that you're exploring in our programs is what you'll see in that part of the course. Workplace essential skills. So another partner of ours is the West team, and that focuses on the soft skills. So your communication, team building, problem solving, conflict resolution, anything like that to make you more of a well-rounded employee, you'll see in the West component. Any safety that's required for a job site, we offer that safety training. So that's an awesome thing to have going on to a job site. So an employer, they're excited, first of all, because it's a cost savings for them, but you're also already trained and ready to go. So they can get you even quicker in the job site started. And that's a good benefit for them. Also, we offer professional development sessions, presentations by special guests, employer site visits, and many other activities in the 16 weeks. And the program is free. So STEP is free to all of our participants to take part. We also provide you PPE, tools, your work boots. So that's all provided. And then for employers, it's a free recruitment tool for them. So everyone is happy with it being free. We do understand that 16 weeks, it's to not have income coming in can, may be difficult, especially our classes Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4. So another partner of ours is Working NB. And if you're selected in one of our courses, then we would match you with an employment counselor, and they would look at your situation to see if you qualify for training and development funding so that you have some income coming in during those 16 weeks. If for some reason you didn't qualify for that, they would sit down and see if there was an opportunity for you to receive EI. But Tara and I always like to say to our candidates, always have a plan B just in case if that funding doesn't come through. Because again, if that's a part-time job, evenings and weekends, whatever it might be. But our goal is to get some funding for you during the program, but we can't guarantee it. We wouldn't be able to run our program without our partners. So our training happens at MBCC or CCMB, and we use their instructors. So all of the instructors have their Red Seals in the trades that you're exploring in our STEP classes. Also, the province of New Brunswick and the apprenticeship branch are a huge partner for our STEP program, and Working NB, as I mentioned earlier. So we always like to give them a shout out because it takes a whole team to make this this successful. So we always like to share some of our success stories. Tara and I now we're on our 10th step since STEP has become a permanent fixture in our organization in 2020. The first one was in 2019, and it was with JDI in St. John. 9 of the 10 participants graduated, and 7 of those individuals are finishing their first block, and actually some are going to their second block now. Then in 2021, in the winter, we ran 3 classes, an all-female carpentry class. 7 of those ladies graduated in May, and 5 of them are currently working in carpentry. We had our first Indigenous step in Eel Ground First Nations, and those individuals graduated with looking at carpentry, plumbing, and electrical, and are now working for their community. Also, we had another one in St. John. Those 9 individuals graduated in June, and we have 6 of those participants still working and are working towards their first block for this fall. And in the fall, we had another 3. We had our first automotive class at St. Mary's First Nations. We had 6 participants graduate, and we have 4 of those participants currently working. They just started in the new year, so they're getting their hands wet for sure right now and building those hours to go their block. And we had a carpentry class in Escanobinich First Nations, and we had an all-female plumbing class in Moncton. So Tara and I thought we would share the future STEP classes that are coming up. We currently have a bricklaying class that just started last week in St. John. Our roofing course, unfortunately, is getting moved to next winter, but we will be hosting our first roofing STEP in St. John. We are currently recruiting for our STEP sheet metal. That's an all-female class in Moncton. And then you'll see we have a plumbing on the docket, electrical, industrial mechanic, bricklaying, landscaping, HVAC, which is refrigeration and air conditioning, and some carpentry classes in 2023 in the Fredericton, Miramichi, and St. Andrews region. And Sally, we can send you all of this information so that you can pass along. And that is all of our presentation. Any questions or comments for us?
I would just like to add, if you saw me get distracted a minute ago, is because I am in MPCC right now. As I presented, we do personal development sessions with our STEP programs. So that's often that is our STEP team that comes in and does these. And so I did one earlier, and I'm down here, and the whole gang of them just rolled by because they're done for the day, and they can't help but holler and tell me how awesome they are. So it's what we enjoy. What I'm enjoying the most is that by the time these courses are done, they have like a little family of support. And yesterday we have a class graduating in Moncton, and when I was talking to those women and asking them how excited they are, and they said it's actually kind of bittersweet because we're going to miss each other once the program's done. So we really value how the wraparound services we provide in the program provide such security and confidence to our participants, and they grow together and do become a cool little family that goes on to the trades. So that's my little bit about how I love STEM.
Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to create a networking community because I'm sure they're not all going to the same like job placements and all that stuff. So for all the clients here, it is a great networking opportunity as well.
Absolutely. And like Tara said, like a group last year, there were the 9 ladies, they still, like you said, keep that connection. They're all at different placements, but they use each other to vent, celebrate the highs, there for each other for the lows. So yeah, it's definitely a great network you start to build for sure.
Exactly. I think there was one question. Sure. Do you need to be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen to participate in the program?
Yeah, so Tara and I have talked with our partners at Apprenticeship, because the goal of the program is for our participants to be registered as apprentices here in New Brunswick. So you need to have an open work permit or your permanent residency. Yes.
Perfect.
With your on and open work permit, we are going to ask you, like, what are your intentions? What does your life look like 4 years from now? Is it still in New Brunswick? Because an apprenticeship would need to stay here to complete for 4 years. So we will ask what the intent of their goals are. And we have a newcomer here in St. John in our bricklaying class, and he's on an open work permit. He understands that there are limitations to funding when you're on an open work permit, but I mean, he's a stellar candidate. He's here every day, and it can be done. So by all means, we welcome newcomers into the program.
And then there was another question, and it says, what level of English is required to participate in the program?
So level 5, but also if you are a high level 4, we will consider that as well.
Yeah, it all comes down to, like, I'm sure, safety and just like
Yes.
understanding, because you need to understand what it is you're doing and communicate with your instructors and your coworkers and apprentices and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yep.
Are there any more questions for Tara or Katie?
And what we can do, Sally, is Tara and I will send you the application form and the list of the programs that we have on our plan. And if anyone is interested, by all means, like, fill out the application, send it to Tara and I. We hold on to all applications. We have a tracker. So if the program that you're interested in isn't until January 2023, still put your application in now, and Tara and I can track that, and we'll reach out to you when the time's closer to do your pre-screening interviews.
Perfect, perfect. And I can certainly circulate all the applications and just information about the program. And then once this session's finished, it's also going to be posted on our Facebook page, just for people that were just unable to come today.
Sure.
Perfect.
Is the program a first step to get your Red Seal in the future?
Yeah, essentially it is, because what happens when you finish the program, you're starting your apprenticeship. So you have to go through apprenticeship to get your Red Seal. And like Tara mentioned earlier, the Red Seal opens so many doors. You can open your own business. You can then become the next mentor for the next generation going through trades. So yes, to get into apprenticeship, you can consider STEP as your first step into getting your Red Seal.
Like what you did there, Katie. And I'll add that I do have my Red Seal, and I didn't do the pre-employment. I did the direct path to apprenticeship on my own. So a long time ago, when this program didn't exist, that meant I was going out knocking on doors. Hey, hire me. I know nothing, but please hire me. And that's a hard job. Employers don't really want to hire. I'm an automotive service tech. They didn't want to hire a woman mechanic who knew nothing. So I got lucky, and I hustled, and I hustled 4 years. So the nice thing about STEP is we take the hustle out of that for you, and you're not going with the wrong hammer or the wrong tools, because we teach you that beforehand. I went on the job site, no idea what I was doing, and it was a struggle, and I didn't have the support. So now that we have this organization, it makes getting and achieving that Red Seal so much more feasible and a possibility.
Yeah, this is, everything that I heard today and just what I know about the organization, it really is a great first step. And it's the kind of program where it's just like, why not? Why am I looking the other way? This is such a great program, like, utilize it and apply and all that stuff.
We agree.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any other questions after, because we understand sometimes you go, oh, I should have asked that. You have our contact information. Definitely reach out.
You can find us on Facebook.
Always at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're always posting about our recruitment and giving updates on our current classes. So yes, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always available to answer questions and see if we can help get you on the right track.
Yeah, and if any questions, you can send them to me and I can forward them to Tara or Katie, or just try and find the answer for you through them and different things like that. We can certainly get the answer for you, but don't hesitate to ask questions if once the session's over. Yeah. So yeah, anybody else have any more questions while we have Katie and Tara here? Elena, you had a lot of good questions. Do you have any more? And one question that I just want to ask, I'm pretty sure you guys touched on it, but this program isn't just for people right out of high school or anything like that. Like it could be any phase in life.
Yes, and I would say probably right now a lot of the majority is we're having people come to us second or third career, so it's never too late. And like you said, it's not just meant for anyone just coming right out of high school. And I know when I went through high school, it was never encouraged, the path going to skilled trades. It was always university. So I find after a few years, you're out of high school, you out of whatever, career you decided, it's like, no, I always wanted to do trades and I just was never encouraged. So we get a lot of those individuals being like, yeah, this is my chance. And that's what STEP offers, is that welcoming and also that comfort that, the individuals that you're doing the program with are very similar in where you are at maybe in your career path. So it's just more of a comfort for sure for our participants, because everyone has the same goal and maybe, had the same experience that, always wanted to have a career in trades, but was never encouraged.
Yeah. There is another question. Do you guys do programs for cabinet makers, or would that fall under carpentry?
So cabinet making is its own Red Seal. Carpentry is what we would hold as a step, and it's an introductory, like all of our programs are an introductory to that trade. When you're looking at levels, or what they used to be called blocks, the level 1 for cabinet making and the level 1 for carpentry would be very similar, if not the exact same. So whichever field they decide to focus on once they finish our program really determines where they go. So if they chose to pick the cabinet making path to go to that Red Seal, then that's where they can go easily following the carpentry program. Just like automotive, we finished one in St. Mary's, and it was really hard to find an automotive placement, just the time of year and stuff. And the kid actually wanted to do truck and transport. And because the stream is so similar, before the first level, he was able to go off and, we got him a placement in truck and transport, and he's sunshine and rainbows now.
Yeah.
He's happy. But a lot of these trades will have a level 1 that is pretty similar, just a different specialty. So typically we've got them all covered. Like if you did the carpentry, you could go into any different field of carpentry for your apprenticeship, as long as it's an apprenticeable trade. So as long as there's a Red Seal at the end of that, then they can go into that field.
Okay.
And
perfect.
if we had an employer that came to us that was focused on cabinet, making, we would probably look at that and do a carpentry, but maybe the last, let's say 6 weeks of the 16 weeks, we would focus strictly on cabinet making. And, if an individual is going through a carpentry class and they're saying, look, I'm more interested in cabinet making, then we would look for that employer afterwards, because, depending on what employers came to us, they might not focus on that. But Tara and I could definitely be like, okay, if that's an interest of yours, we will get you placed with an employer that focuses on that side of it.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to do a final call if anybody else has any more questions. These again are great questions. And yeah, if any come up within the next hour or beyond, please just send me a message or email. I'm going to put my email in the chat for the people that are on here. But if we don't have any more questions, I just want to thank Tara and Katie and everybody that joined today for coming. Katie and Tara, thanks for a wonderful presentation. The STEP program is something that I didn't know about before, but since knowing, I'm just like, oh my word, just such a great program.
Thank you. Yeah, we're pretty
Thank
proud of
you.
it.
It's
just, again, I said this before, but the kind of program we were just like, why aren't you looking into this?
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, for everybody that joined, thank you so much. Again, if you have any more questions, feel free to send me an email and I'll get the answer for you. But with that, I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the long weekend. Don't forget that it's Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yes, good reminder.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.